Hello, welcome to Junk Jaw Resell Podcast. My name's Jay.
And I'm Ray. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate you coming by. Thank you, and supporting the community that we have here at Junk Jaw Reseller Podcast. And I just find it in your heart, please, to just hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, ask a question, just say, "Hey, what's going on? You guys get on my nerves. Like it or not, I don't care." But
Yeah.
thank you for
Hey,
joining us anyway.
I guess bad comments would be better than no comments, right?
Yeah, bad comments are better than no comments. You know what? Just let's do something that nobody does. Just leave all bad comments.
Yeah. Tell us how much you hate listening to us.
Yeah,
Or
we
you
hate
hate our
listening to you. Jay, you're so fat, and
Get it all out.
get it all out. Just get it all out. Last episode, if you haven't watched it, I wish that orange soda would have killed you, but
Oh my gosh.
that's okay.
At least you quit that.
Yeah, I did. I quit it. The sun-kissed addiction. It's hard. It really is. But
Uh,
I got over it.
yep. Yeah, and you just uploaded that episode, right?
Yep.
All right. So yeah,
Just uploaded it.
so anybody on here, just make sure you go check out last week's episode where Jay almost died.
Yeah. Yeah, I had proof too. I had a little EKG machine, dude, and I showed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was happening. It was going down. I seen the light. I mean, it was eBay and Sunkist all at the same time trying to get rid of me. It was knocking me off. But anyway, how was your week, Ray?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Nothing. Well, I actually, I'm not going to get quite into sales. But I'll say my sales have been pretty good. I've had a couple big items sell. I had one yesterday, and I had one. Was it Friday? So last week. So it's been a week now, but within a week span, I've had two pretty decent sales and a lot in between. So something's picking up.
I like it. Yeah, myself, I had a really good week. Really, really fantastic week. Sale wise, it's maybe the best in some months.
Yeah, I don't.
Really good
Did
week.
somebody flip a switch?
Yeah, it was like
It was off last week or past couple of weeks, and all of a sudden, I don't know what it is. I mean, I get that, especially last week and week before. You figure people are going their last minute vacations. You got back to school, that kind of stuff. So I know those weeks they usually don't do nearly as good. So I guess people are done spoiling their kids and going on extravagant vacations. They're back to reality.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
And hopefully, so since you have that summer slowdown, everybody goes out, they spend their money out there. So maybe they're caught up in the house, they can spend more money over on eBay.
Yeah. I never understand it. I mean, I just kind of go with whatever. You just keep listing, keep doing whatever you're doing, and when they hit, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. It's the roller coaster of eBay.
Roller coaster.
Yeah.
Or did you have any sales this week that you're like, wow, that was a pretty good, pretty good sale?
Friday, I had a game used Bowie Bay Sox minor league team for the Orioles jersey, and it was Kevin Gausman, the pitcher that the Orioles had for a while. Now he's with Toronto.
Yeah,
I think he might be like a 2-time All-Star with them or something like that. But at least, but yeah, it was a jersey that he wore during a game, and he signed it. And all, I think I got over $500 for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. I mean, I don't have no $500 sales. I mean,
yeah,
I really don't. But
and then
that's pretty good.
And then I don't know what it was. It's like all this game used or game team issued like type memorabilia. I had these Ravens pants I sold last night. I guess because the hype of the first game of the NFL season against the Chiefs last night, and I sold the purple pants that the players wear. Like they usually did them like during the Color Rush games on Thursday nights. I had a pair that they were just like issued, and I couldn't figure out if they were, because there was nothing on it that said that it would belong to a specific player. But I bought them directly from the Ravens, and I sold them for $400 or around $400 last night.
Wow,
So,
that was pretty good.
dude, things are going crazy. Even today, I had a big Macari sale. I sold my last two my homies figures. They're not the small ones. I shouldn't say little, but the last two ones I had for $50 each, so $100 total
Nice,
sale. I'm like,
nice.
things are just flying off the
I
shelf.
love that, man. It's really good. It makes you feel that what you've done,
Mm-hmm.
or what you're doing really
Yep.
makes a difference. I know I've sold a lot of I had a lot of $50 to $100 sales. So
Okay.
I had heated face masks.
Really?
I guess where you put on it's like heats your eyes so your
Yeah.
eyes aren't puffy. I sold a few of them. They're like $64, $65 a piece.
That's
And
good.
I sold some comics that were like 40 to 50, $60 comics. And just a bunch of like little 50 to $50 to $100 sales,
Yeah.
which were good, and it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. So so it was a
Yeah.
pretty good week
I mean,
too. No $500 sales, but
yeah, but I mean, you had the consistency. I mean, that's kind of what you want at the end of the day. Even if I get some $20 sales, is if I'm just consistently, if I make, anywhere from like 5 to 10 $20 sales in one day, I still enjoy that. Now I'm doing more work,
no, I
but
like that too though. I
yeah,
mean,
but that's what I'm saying. It's you
we
need
got to
that.
imagine you
You
pick it
need the
up, it's
filler.
$20. You're making 20.
Yep. I mean, even I know a lot of people will probably disagree, but I always I don't look for it. I don't specifically want to list stuff this cheap, but it's good fillers when I have stuff for like $5, $10,
Mm-hmm.
around that range. Like my lowest is, I mean, there's sellers on there. I don't know how they're selling. They want to sell stuff for like $1, $2. They're not making anything. I think they're absolutely losing money when they do.
$2 free shipping.
But yeah, well, not that's different. But I'm saying, because like that's just something else on its own. But I'm saying people that are literally thinking that they're going to make money off $1 or $2 plus the shipping price. It's just not. They're probably not making anything. They're probably losing money. But I've done enough calculations that usually my lowest is $3.99, and then on regular items, my cards I do. I mean, because cards are easy. I think I've been through this before. Like cards, I'll list for as low as $1.50, and I don't like really going below that. I don't think I ever do. I might send an offer for like 5% off of that just to get it moving, but I don't. It's not worth my time. I mean, at least they're easy to get picks, list, ship, or I wouldn't even do that. But it's not even really worth my time. But it's nice fillers because I'll get somebody that might come in and buy 20 cards or something like that once in a while, or 30 cards, times $1.50. That's when it adds up. That's ideally, if you have the volume of cards over the years of building it up, somebody could come in and just make a bigger buy on cards.
Yeah.
That it's not individually. That's not
Right.
what I'm making it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the lowest I'll go on a regular object is probably $3.99. And the reason why I'll sell it, that low is because I got a big deal, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
just something there, and why I'm doing it.
Yeah,
It may only take me 30 extra seconds to list that item,
yeah,
which is nothing to me,
yeah.
whatever, because
I mean, I think too many sellers shy away from that. Not saying like, I mean, I could probably definitely be a better reseller overall if I focus on higher end items, but there's not necessarily that many out there all the time, and you know, you shouldn't. I guess working in retail, every company has like filler stuff. It's like the last
mm-hmm.
stuff, like going up to checkout or anything like that. Like just throw something in your cart they think you might have. Why do you think a lot of stores have like snacks and drinks and stuff like that, like right before you're checking out, or a pack of gum, or it could be something that doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the store. And
Right.
there's stores like that. Like if you go in like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, they'll have like candy and snacks and drinks and all like right there front.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with the restaurant. Now they do have a very small like section of food there, but they specifically put that stuff up there, hoping that you're like, you know what, I'm hungry, I'm gonna get this, or just hope you see it,
Right.
when you're
That last minute, just
the impulse buy. It's or an add-on, like that's what it is. Like you're trying to add something onto the purchase. So sometimes that's the case. Even I've sold cards, or somebody bought like a baseball for 50, $60 that was autographed, but I have baseball cards in my store. They're like, you know what, I'm gonna add these on to the deal, or they'll work with it. Like, hey, I'll pay full price for the baseball if you give me these cards for free. I'm like, whatever. Like, it's $1.50 a piece. Sure, you know,
Yeah.
uh, take them because that's your freebie, and that way I get the ball sold, and I'm not gonna argue over that.
No, I'm not gonna argue. That's.
No.
I mean, I think like when you do that, I do that because I have the room and I can wait and I'm pay. That
Yeah.
objects that are $3.99, they can sit in my store if they have to for years, and
Yeah.
it would not bother me whatsoever one bit.
Hmm.
But there's other people that if you don't have the room, I probably wouldn't go there. I would
Yeah.
probably just somehow never pick it up, or but sometimes you can't help that when you're doing the deals and it comes and there's some, say if you bought action figures, you buy say 50 action figures and most of them are like $10 to $30 or something, and you've got 20% of them that are $5. What do you do?
Yeah.
You could lot them up, I guess, but
Yeah. You
he
know me, I hate lots.
hates lot. Right.
For anybody who doesn't know, I absolutely hate listing items in lots, just because it seems like every time I do, somebody's like, "Hey, I just need this one out of it." Somebody messaged me last week, so I had lots, and they're just these like, I'm trying to think what they're called off the top of my head, but they're like stamps, but they're like fake stamps. I forget the word I used or you use in the title for that, but whatever it is, there's these different stamps, and because like you can't use them at the post office or anything, but there's more like collectible. But
Mm-hmm.
they only wanted like two out of this lot of maybe five or six, and they asked how much just for those two. I'm like, sorry, I'm not. I've already done the work of taking the pictures and everything. Why am I?
Yeah, why am I going to just go ahead
Yeah,
and
I
man?
mean, I think the listing was like, I don't even know. It was on the lower side. It might have been like between $5 to $8. Probably even maybe it was like $6. We'll say it was $6. At the end of the day, like how am I going to figure out? I think it would have been like $2 or $3 for if I would have charged them just for those stamps, like the two they wanted or something. And I'm like, why am I? I'm not going to go through all this for a couple dollars. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It's
A
not.
lot of time people are just trying. They want the best out of the whole lot, and
Yeah.
think you're just grading the lot
Yeah.
as just a.
I mean, even if you wanted to, he could have made an offer and just taken the rest and done whatever he wanted with the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's I advise some people that want to break up the lot. I'm like, make an offer. You never know. I might make a deal with you, and then you could just take them all, and then you want to sell the rest, get your money back, then it's a free purchase almost.
Right.
You think of it that way, or do a trade with somebody else that does that. Because if you're whatever you're collecting, if it's like I collect all these Funko Pops behind me. I guess this way.
Mm-hmm.
um, I've been collecting autographed Funko Pops. I mean, if I had extras and somebody, there's something I really, really wanted, I'm going to make a trade. Now, I don't like doing trades either because I feel like most of the time I lose in trades. Uh, but it's an option. Like you're in that community of those type of collectibles, so it's going to be easier for you to be able to move them than me too. I mean, on top of it,
Yeah,
I don't
that's well.
specialize in stamps or anything like that. I just bought them because they came with those stickers. All those stickers I bought.
Yeah, so you're not. Well, you've done made
Yeah,
money after money over them
yeah,
stickers. I mean,
yeah. I've still been selling a little bit here and there, but
yeah.
yep,
Well, and you maximize your profits. If it's with it, you might as well just make a couple bucks off of
oh
it.
yeah,
Try.
yep, yep. So I noticed this week I had. It's the first time I seen this. I kind of heard about it, but I had a photo that was posted in my feedback on eBay. Have you had anybody do that yet?
No.
No. So like this buyer bought this pin, and I mean he left positive feedback and everything, and but he showed a picture of the pin. They bought, like he was so, I get it. I'm glad he loved it, and he's just showing it off, and that's pretty cool. But I don't know. It's just kind of, I never seen that, and I think it's neat, but at the same time, if somebody leaves you a negative feedback and are leaving pictures of it broken or I don't know, that's gonna be not
Right.
so
Because
good.
the other buyers, like in their mind, like,
Yeah, it's gonna start like, what if you, okay, have you ever mixed up orders and shipped the wrong thing to somebody else? Like, you had two orders and you just switched them. You know,
yeah, yeah,
like, can you imagine if somebody posts a feedback, a negative feedback with the picture, and like, and the other guy's like, "Hey, you got my item.
that's my item.
I bought that. Why do you have it?"
Yeah, my when we started doing that, my wife did some shipping one time. For some reason, I don't know what
Hmm.
I was up to something, but she sent the items to the wrong people,
Hmm.
and it was like I think it was four different people. So she had to make sure they got in contact with each one, and
Yeah,
each one wound up having to ship it to the other people. But we paid for all the stuff, and it all worked out. Those people were really good, and they all left positive feedback
I
regardless of what happened.
I had one guy. I mixed up these magazines, like these sports magazines I was shipping out, and the one guy, um, this I didn't even know until this one guy messaged me, and he just said, "I hey, you mix these up, or I didn't get the right item, or whatever it was," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry about that. If you still want it, I'm gonna message the other buyer, let him know, and see if we can get them sent back to me, and I'll just ship them back out." Because I'd rather do it that way. I mean, it should be held more accountable to me. I can't trust my buyers, and this is exact example why you can't trust them, because that buyer that first complained, he was not willing to wait. He wanted me a basic refund, and he said, "I don't have time to ship it back."
Wow.
He's like, "I run a company of 5,000 people or something like that." He's like, "I don't have time." I'm like, "Well, if you don't ship it back, I'm not going to give you a refund."
Sure.
You know, like, there's not, like, I already, especially after I already messaged the other guy was more than willing to ship it back. So I felt bad for him. I'm like, and I had to go back to that guy and be like, "Hey, yeah, this other guy won't ship the item back. I tried, and he's the one that initially told me. I apologize. So I actually refunded him because it wasn't his fault. I refunded him, let him keep the magazine. The first guy, nope, because that's part of your thing. I mean, as a buyer, that's your responsibility. Even though I messed up, but I want to make it all my responsibility when I mess up is to make it right in full. I can't make it right in full if you're not willing to cooperate with me.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
you know, that's
Well, some people are just,
he just wanted his
hard to
money.
deal with.
I guess, I don't know. It's just one of those situations that, I mean, it sucks, but he I just wish he would have cooperated. But so did you have any finds, or pickups this week, or any buys?
Um, had a few video games that came across this week. Nothing too serious, but a lot of like $20 to $40 games.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, I mean not too much, but that's about it. I
Yeah.
found some pieces of clothes.
Clothing,
Uh,
really? I, I
yes,
I never knew you really did clothing.
I don't. I'm getting into it now. I'm going to get into clothes. I'm going to start doing clothes.
Believe me, I say I'm into clothing, and then I just solely I have piles and piles of clothing, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna go through a lot of it for this vintage booth at the car show, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to move some of it there, and try to sell it locally because then I'll have to take measurements and take all
Yeah,
the pictures. I mean, the clothing's extremely easy once you get past that. Like shipping is the easiest. Like it's absolutely easiest part of selling clothing, or just selling all together. Like it, there's no other, you know, there's no other items you could sell that I think that would be that incredibly easy because already I put them in a bag, a clear plastic bag,
oh
and
yeah,
throw them
they're
away.
too easy.
So they're already folded up. All I gotta do is put it in a poly mailer, ship it out.
Hmm.
Like some,
That's it.
yeah, some sellers, I've seen them. They already put it in a poly mailer and they just label what it is and they just go to pull it.
Yep.
I can't do that because in my mind I'm like, crap, did I get it wrong? Is it the right shirt in there? Did I label it wrong? And then I can't see it because
Mhm.
it's sealed up in this poly mailer, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'll double think it too much. I'll just put them in a clear bags that way I can double check myself.
I've done so I'm not a clothes seller, but I've
Hmm.
sold some clothes in the past, and that's something we've done. We did and put them in polymail and close it up, and just like you, your mind gets to going
Yeah,
regardless what it is. Did I make a mistake? And I have to rip the bags open and just resend
yeah,
them again. I
I
just
do
do
that. Yeah,
because
oh yeah, I do that. I second guess myself all the time, and it's just it's not even just with reselling. I guess it's just life in general. I like, you know, did I pick the right place to eat today? Am I, should I stop and get gas now or should I wait till tomorrow? And then like then I'll wait and I'm like, no, I'll just wait till tomorrow. And I'm like, crap, I'm like running late and I'm like, I got to go and get gas.
yep.
And now crap, why did I not get it the day before?
No, I think we're all the same because I think the same way. Like I question and guess everything. It's like, where
Yeah,
am I?
yeah,
And then it eats me alive. Did I make the right decision? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
yeah.
But sometimes you just have to go for it. You just
Hmm.
gotta.
I know I've kind of battled like this. I don't know. I kind of have this like social anxieties sometimes that I go through, and to the point where dude, I have this thing where, and I don't know. I think I can't even call like a say like our local sub shop or something like that, or I'm ordering carry out, or pickup, whatever, and I have to write everything down. And
So
I
you
can't
don't.
keep it in my mind. I can't. I have to. That's why I have a list here. Like I have lists of stuff I have to talk about because I can't just. It's not a memory thing. I just need it for my own sake to, because
No,
otherwise,
I
yeah,
totally
I second
understand.
guess myself. When I worked in retail for every company I worked for, and I had to do a closing announcement, I had to write it down and read it off a piece of paper every night, and I still mess up
Wow.
sometimes. I'm like, I'm reading it. How am I messing up? And then I'm thinking, I'm like, man, why did I mess up? And I'm double thinking that, like,
I know
it's,
it's that-
yeah,
that's the way it is. Not to toot my own horn or nothing. I'm a really smart guy. Probably a lot of stuff that you may not know about. I'm a really smart guy, right? But here it is. Like I'm not a teacher, and when I get to talking, I can never fully explain myself.
hmm
Articulation is not my a strong suit of mine. I have it all up in here,
hmm
but to bring it out to here so you
yeah,
understand what I'm saying,
yep,
it just don't. It never works. It never
yeah,
works.
yep. It's weird how the brain is it's a crazy thing because everybody's brain and mind works so differently, and
Hmm.
I mean like just the way everybody's thought process through things, and not, I mean, even with our with our business, like, how we function, or what our vision of what we want our reselling business to do, and what our viewers, anybody listening to this or watching us, your ideas and views on how you run your business is likely not always going to be the same as ours either. Everybody's going to have their different way, and that's what kind of makes it unique. Um, kind of how your mind works through this. It's just
Hmm.
maybe the way you ship, you know, um, or certain things that you think that trying to think. Maybe like your shipping process, like how much bubble wrap or protection do you use versus how much I use. Like if I got burned a long time ago, I might use more. Or if I ship the same item all the time and I've done it 1,000 times, in my mind, I'm not going to change that up. But you might overdo it just because you had an issue before, or
Right.
I mean, it's even your buying process, your negotiations, how you negotiate, and it's everybody has their tactics. I mean, everything. Like, do you lowball first, or when you're negotiating, do you sometimes like I might pay full price on the first deal, and then the second deal I'm like, hey, I'm buying more. Can I get more of to bundle it together, or do you walk? You give your price, and if they don't agree, do you walk away? You know, Sometimes I don't even want to show much interest in the item. Um, that I'm looking at. And, I'm like, whatever, like, and just wait for them. Sometimes don't say anything and they might talk themselves down.
Yeah. No, they do. Hey, I've had it before. Like, what? What? I'm paying $4. You
Yeah.
were at 10. Now it's $4. I'm like, awesome. Okay. I'm not gonna.
And then also sometimes, would you take three?
Yeah.
It's like,
I'll give you three. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes, I mean, I think that probably just depends on the item. I mean, if it's not worth that much, then yeah, like if they were already kind of high in the price, that can happen. And they just want to get rid of it at the end of the day sometimes. And I'm like, you know what? I can tell there's a sense of urgency. They don't want to take this home. So, if I can, a dollar saved is a dollar earned. You
Yeah.
know,
Absolutely. Dollar saved is a dollar earned.
I mean, all you can do is ask, and if they say no, now I did have, well, I'll get into what I picked up shortly, but at the flea market last weekend. But it was because it was Saturday, because you didn't go to the flea market, you
No.
stayed home. Um, I was walking around and all, and there was this one dealer there. He's there pretty much. He's been there most Saturdays lately. But he had. I kind of went over because I was looking. He has some baseballs and stuff. His prices were high on that stuff, and but I kind of go back a little further, and some some woman, I actually know her a little bit, but she walked up and she asked a price on these gloves that he had, and I think he said, oh, they're $3, $3 a pair or whatever, and she's like, would you take two? And he's like, no, that now they're five. Like, what? You don't do that. Like, dude, like what I would have came back and said, like, I can't do two, but if you want two for five, then you're just knocking 50 cents off each one. That ain't nothing. That if you're worried about 50 cents or a dollar, you probably shouldn't be selling anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's like sometimes you feel dollared to death, like, or nickel and like people are nickel and diming you, but that adds up. Would you rather you're gonna just hang on to this? It was like a whole box of gloves. It's gonna take you forever to sell that. Sell it while you can. You got somebody, then you can double up. You're gonna sell twice as many if you say no, but I'll do two for five.
Right. I'll do.
And she got mad and walked away. And then he's talking crap. Like he's like that lady wanted it, didn't want him. She didn't like my response. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Like you didn't have to be like that. Just
They went $3 to $5.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I got a call from eBay. No, I'm just
yeah. eBay.
joking.
They're gonna tell you that they're switching. You're turning your switch back off.
Yeah, turn your switch back. You sold way too many things
Yeah,
this week.
yeah.
We're gonna have to slow you down. I
Got
can see that
got it.
happening. I mean,
Yeah. I like your hat, the shark tooth, and that a shark tooth.
no, that's
No, no,
Chicago
no, no.
Bulls.
I'm saying the design, and that like the shark tooth.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah,
yeah,
yep,
shark tooth.
yeah. But that's like the Chicago. I know.
Yeah.
Windy City. That's cool.
Yeah. The windy Chicago, the
Yeah.
windy city,
Yeah.
which is,
Now
you know,
that's just like a reproduction, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Should be
that.
a re-
There's a lot of companies out there that are making reproductions now. I know I buy Mitchell and Ness ones at the flea market of the I buy like the spikes ones, and then what's the other one? I think there's I think I bought a couple shark tooths. I don't know. There's a couple other ones I bought, but Mitchell and Ness did them, and then I think 47 brand
Yeah.
is they
47.
they just released some, or they're about to release some. Um, so I mean, might as well. I mean, the real deal they can be some, a lot of times well over $100.
Dollars. Yeah.
I mean, hats in general are just expensive now
Yeah.
anyway. I mean, they're starting at anywhere from like $30 to $50. I feel like half the time, brand new ones, which I don't know. That's just outrageous to me.
It's
Well, why is my hat costing more than my or well, actually, yeah, I should say because I'm not a big shoe fanatic or anything like that. If I were to buy a hat for like $30 to $50, that costs probably just as much, if not more, than my shoes I usually buy.
right. Then your shoes, and
Which I need. You need shoes. You don't need a hat.
you don't need a hat.
That's a
You don't need
choice.
a hat at all.
Yeah. So for them to sell something that's that much based off a choice, you know, just like a shirt. If a shirt was $30 to $50, well, I need to wear a shirt. If I go out in the public without a shirt,
Right.
I
I have every right.
I think I'm going to be in some trouble.
I love
I feel
hats though.
bad.
I love hats. I mean, I
Yeah.
really do. I like hats. Like I kind of do something though. I kind of wear my hats, so I dog them out and I don't clean them
Mm-hmm.
like I should. I should clean my
Yeah.
hats, and I
I
don't.
got a pile of hats I got to clean. Yeah.
I just dog them out so much.
Got to do the that Clorox or not Clorox, OxyClean. Oh, I think
OxyClean.
Clorox, OxyClean soak. Yeah, definitely do not do a Clorox soak.
Yeah, no. Like,
I don't know how well that would turn out.
what happened to the color in that hat?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you're going for a different look.
I'm just, tie dye.
Yeah, I mean, people do that. So it is kind of crazy how people will they kind of do that upcycling type of thing a little bit. I guess that's upcycling. They'll take an old shirt or even something that's not quite as old. They might take a 15-year-old shirt compared to a 20, which is 20. For those that don't know, 20 years is usually now that's considered vintage. So they might take a 15-year-old shirt and then just do this whole bleach thing and make it look tie dye or whatever different effects to it. But I don't know. Or they'll.
I did pick up a vintage shirt. Now you said vintage shirt. I picked up a vintage shirt.
What'd you get?
Picked up. It was Billy Joel and
Billy Joel.
and who's that singer? I'm trying to remember who sung that about the princess candle in the wind.
Don't ask me. I'm not that good with who sings or.
Well, he's a famous singer. He's another famous singer.
Yeah.
Guys, see, I can't remember.
Yeah. Well.
Shortcut.
Well, just anybody listening, just leave us a comment so we know. Because I don't feel like I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, if I maybe after this, I have to go try to look up the
He's
song.
British. Hold on.
British.
I need to know now. Hold on.
Oh gosh.
I have to know.
The suspense of not knowing what
Elton
what
John.
Elton. Okay, that's what.
Elton John, Billy Joel concert tee.
When did you? That's weird because I actually that's probably about 5 or 6 years ago, or probably about 5 years ago. I picked up almost like the same combo. Somebody had a Billy Joel and a Elton John T-shirt, like tour T-shirts. What years were they from? Like were they?
It was 90 some.
Yeah,
It's a over a 20-year shirt.
that's good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think it's only worth like $40-$50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
What
I think no, it's a single stitch.
what's
Might
the
be, or was it a double stitch? I don't remember, but
do
it was
do, do you know the tag, like the
I don't
brand?
remember.
No.
I don't remember the tag,
Yep.
but I really haven't picked up much of any vintage thing except for I
Yeah.
got that, and I have a vintage tee from Paul Abdul.
Okay.
I have to. I have one of that. That's been sitting around for a year or two now. That's single stitch. So
Yeah. I mean,
and I
hey,
said I'm doing clothes, so I'm about to
yeah.
start.
Well, that's when I do clothes, I'll take my one of my piles I have and do like 10 to 20 of them at a time or whatever. I'll just because I just clear out space, take pics, measurements, list them, and then I won't do any for another 6 months.
Wait, I'm a shoe guy. Like I like tennis shoes. I don't really ever wear them. I'm like I just like them,
Hmm.
and I usually just wear the same pair of shoes all the time, over and over again. But I
Yeah.
went and said, "Hey, I'm going to want a pair of my shoes on yesterday." Now I figured, well, I'm selling clothes, so I might as well just sell these shoes.
Hmm.
These are Adidas. Uh, it's a Rich Manissi or whatever his name is, famous guy, I guess, or whatever. So these didn't size 13 Adidas. They just didn't. My foot's kind of wide a little bit, but they're
Hmm.
they're nearly brand new. I mean, they're for sale. So you
Wow.
have to look at my eBay store if you're.
Some of these collectors on shoes are absolutely ridiculous. I just seen a Instagram reel or Facebook reel that somebody drove like hours away, like probably like I think 3 to 4 hours away or something like that to this sneaker con or whatever, and they spent $18,000 on these shoes.
Oh no, there ain't no way.
He's like, these are my dream shoes. Like, and he's spending just as much. He even said, I think, that he's spending just as much as somebody's car is worth. I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
pretty much.
Yeah, and you got to manually walk on those things.
and
The car
and
I could
the
drive.
comments were brutal. Now, I mean, I'm a bigger guy, so I know how shoes get. Your bigger guys are just naturally rougher on shoes because heavier, all that weight. I mean, he put them. This guy was a bigger guy, and he put them on like right away. And people in the comments were like, "Those shoes are just gonna be messed up
That's
very
crazy.
soon. Like, it's not gonna, the creases and the folds and
Mm-mm.
like if I spend $18,000 on shoes, I'm not wearing them.
No,
I'm not.
no.
You buy it as an investment. It's like a car. You take it off. You go buy a brand new car. You take it off the lot. It decreases the value. How much money did he just lose on those shoes
Oh yeah, as soon
by
as you
putting them on
but
and
as soon as
walking?
you put them on, you done lost the value of it.
I
That's
mean, can he get 10,000?
And when I say I'm a shoe guy, I'm not that type of
Yeah,
shoe
no,
guy.
I
It's like
know, I know.
if I
I'm
find a pair of
bringing it
shoes
up.
out in the wild for like $40, and I've got Nike shoes that are like $300 and $400. I never paid nowhere near that. I don't believe in paying that much money for shoes.
Yeah,
Absolutely
no,
not. I'll pay 30, $40, maybe $50. And if there's a pair of shoes I really want that I don't that I need to own that I don't have, is Reebok pumps. I like the old Reebok pump shoes.
mhm.
I want a pair of old Reebok pumps. So that's probably my
The
shoe.
issue is though, doesn't the pump break a lot of times?
What happens is if you step on like little pins or anything that
Hmm.
goes into your shoe, it messes one of the chambers. It messes the air
Okay.
chamber up. So when you go to pump the shoe up, you can't pump it up no more because the
Yeah,
chamber is blown.
yeah. I think I had a really rough pair of them before, and I don't even think I could sell them online because they were that bad. I thought they
I got
were
a pair for Christmas one year, and I remember, man, I was like talk of the town. That was me.
really.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. I love them. So I want another pair back. I should just go out and buy them, but they're
Yeah,
like the kind I want are like $300, and I'm not spending $300 on
yeah.
them. I'm just not gonna do it.
Now, now, because I know there's a lot of people that are against this. I know my wife's not a big fan of it, and I do my extensive, like, I guess, care of just cleaning it and everything afterwards. But like, would you buy and wear a used pair of shoes?
Would I buy a used pair of shoes?
Yeah, and wear them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
I, I know I get it. Like, it's kind of one of those weird things that a lot of people won't do because, but I think as long as I clean them up, and
Hmm.
if I just bought a pair of Vans last weekend for I think like $20, but they're personal use. They're they're for
Yeah.
me. They're kind of like they're more of like a fall slash like winter boot type thing, and I'm like I don't have anything like that. I might as well for $20 because I think they're probably about like 60 to $80.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
I
they're
have no
they're
problem.
clean. Yeah, they're how I usually look at it is if there's not much dirt or gunk on the bottom, like that's definitely how I would prefer.
Yes.
I don't even like putting in work to clean shoes I'm gonna sell.
Hmm.
It's so time consuming. It's filthy, nasty. I don't like doing it, but I mean I'll do it, but I don't. I I, I usually only pick up shoes if they're in pretty good condition.
Yeah.
You know, I mean they have
I
to
mean,
be really really good.
I have no problem with used shoes. That's why if I have, $300 pair of Nikes, $200, that I bought them all used.
Yeah,
But they look nearly brand new. Like
yeah.
they just got taken out of a box. But
hmm
yeah, and you know what? I don't wear them. Like I just don't. They just sit
Yeah,
there, and I might wear them if
yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
whenever I get a chance. But
I know. So this has been going for a little while now, but and I meant to say something when it came up, but we were just getting so much into the conversation earlier. But behind you, you got like it looks like you're going through the city. You got this background of what is it, Roku or whatever?
it's the Roku. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
my computer's plugged into the television. So
Okay.
I use a
Yeah.
Roku. I don't know whatever size of TV this is. Like
Got average. We look. We're sponsored. We got these advertisements in our podcast. They're
yeah, just running back
rolling
and
by.
forth.
Yeah. Got billboards.
I hope YouTube don't like pick that up and be like, yeah,
Uh
no,
oh. Yeah.
I don't think they will.
Uh
Let's hope not.
oh. So, because that's right. I never went over my pickups. Um, I'll show you some. I did. Now these are just supplies. I'll start off with that. It's nothing too exciting, but I went to Walmart. I ended up in and on Sunday. I ended up at Walmart and kind of near my wife's work, and trying to find it. I got two sizes in here. I can't find another one. Or maybe they were all $1.50. But they had these bags, these like just sealable bags, and I use them for if I'm like shipping anything small, pins, jewelry, little figures, anything, you know. But it's 100 of them for $1.50.
Where was that Walmart?
Yeah, dude, this Walmart had the most clearance I had seen. Like we walked in the doors and it like just was right in front of us. They had all this clearance. It was just at first it was just a rack of clothing, and they had Deadpool tank tops, like men's tank tops, and they were only $2 each.
How many did you buy?
I bought all. I don't know. I might have bought like 10 of them, or maybe 8 to 10 of them, but I just only bought the larger sizes, like extra large and 2X.
Wow.
I don't think there was any larges left, but there was some medium and small. I left them, and then they also had like some band like T-shirts. I think they were by Wrangler. I think Wrangler was the one that made them, but they had like Iggy Pop. They had I think they had Journey, and they had was it the Black Crows.
Yeah.
Um, but I only picked up the Journey ones because I think they were going for like $20 a pop. So about
There
two
must
dollars.
have been a high end neighborhood Walmart.
No, 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 no,
No?
no. They had just done inventory, and that's why I said there was a lot of stuff out there. I mean, all throughout. So that was like at the entrance, and we go all the way around. They got like boxers for like $5 a pack.
Wow.
They had like some shoes for about like $5 to $10, but it's nothing crazy that I really wanted or needed. But then where did we go? We went all the way around the other side of the store. Then they had this. See, our local Walmart only has like this one little small aisle, and it's only one sided of where the
Hmm.
clearance is. This one had like it was double sided aisle, completely filled with clearance all the way through, and then there out in the center aisle there was a bunch of toys and all on clearance right next to that. And I mean, it was a lot of stuff. And I mean, some of it's worth buying, some of it wasn't. And I mean, I don't know. It was just insane how much stuff they had. I don't
That's
usually do a
crazy.
lot of retail arbitrage, but the only thing I really got to flip were those clothing, because I think that's easy. I can do even quantity and all that kind of stuff for
Hmm.
$2 a. I'm even going to keep one of the Deadpools. I figure I'll keep a Deadpool shirt. But
That's not bad for $2. I mean, like
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I
Especially
like those bags too. Like
yeah,
you know,
I use them all the time. I think I got some off you, um, a couple
yeah,
times. I think, but I
I
always look
use it
out
for
for.
action figures.
Yeah, I mean, heck, actually, because where I record this, I have all these drawers right here. So most of these drawers are filled with bags like that. Like I got these little micro machine guys. I got Tootsie Toy car figure. I
Hmm.
mean, all everything in here. Even I got. Well, I know this isn't probably a good game to pull out, but little Game Boy, advanced games. I mean, they're perfect for that.
Yeah, they're perfect for it. I
But
love it.
so yeah, that was my retail arbitrage. But was Saturday. I told you because I texted you about
Hmm.
the one spot there that had all these video games, and I was just too slow with it. I seen somebody one person with a bunch of video games in their hands, and I was started going through another bin, and I just found like some of the newer games, like I said, that what PS4 and Xbox One games that I found. There's like three of them, and I turn around and this guy's still going through his bin. We talked about that. This like was it last week or the week before that? Try to be courteous and not go through bins that other people are going through. And man, I'm like, oh, there's so much good stuff. Like he had this stack,
Oh
this
man.
big stack. But then he goes up there and the guy's like, I'm not selling these because most of it was there was a lot of it was Nintendo. He's like, I'm not selling any Nintendo stuff, and he just takes it out of the pile. And
Well, what was he gonna do with it then?
I don't, I think that guy, the person who was selling it, was gonna put it online. That's what he said. Oh, gotcha, ching.
Hmm.
But but yeah, he he was just gonna put it online. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think that it should have necessarily been left in a bin for
Right. Well, I just did the work
or
for you.
mixed in.
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. Well, not really. I mean, you did, but you didn't. You just you separated it, so you did that work.
Yeah,
Uh,
because you're taking my time out from going finding
yeah,
something else.
yeah. I know. Even there was one guy that had a stack, and he's like, I'll, if you do decide to sell the Nintendo games, like I'll pay full price. I'll pay like what eBay, what they go for on eBay. And I think he was still kind of skeptical about it, but I was worried because I had the few video games I had, and I just he wasn't saying Nintendo. Like I'm not selling any Nintendo first. He said I'm not selling any of the games. I'm not selling any of the games. And I'm like crap. I got three games. Like, and I got a couple other things I'm trying to bundle together with the deal. And I'm like, oh man, they're probably there goes like half of what I wanted,
Hmm.
probably. And I go up to them and I'm like, I'm sorry if you don't want to sell these. I just try to be nice and explain it. Like it's okay if you don't want to, because at the end of the day, it's just up to their discretion if they want to sell it or not. And he's like, oh no, I just meant the Nintendo stuff. I'm like, okay. So
Well,
I think
that's who
yeah,
you call it, and I don't think that a lot of
yeah,
times people say, "Oh, Nintendo, that's the only
yeah,
game thing people know," and it's
hmm
those they could be common Nintendo games, and
yeah,
people just automatically Nintendo
yep,
doesn't mean it's worth a whole bunch of money.
yeah. Now we'll get in this real quick because I did have it on my list. I was going to ask you anyway. I mean, since we're talking about it, what to you what makes a video game valuable?
Well, there's a couple things that makes a video game valuable. Um, One is like say the life cycle of a system, how long it's been around, and how many people who bought into it. So like we'll take like Sega CD or the Sega Saturn. Uh, they don't have the 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 amount of systems or games sold on that is very 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 low. Now
Mm-hmm.
when you bring that in to the equation, mixed with how good the game actually is, mixed with the developer of a game. Like you could have something from Working Designs, so Saturn game, Working Designs. It's the most, makes for some of the most expensive games you could buy
Hmm.
on the Saturn. If you see Working Designs or Atlas, those publishers are just out of this world crazy. So Nintendo. So if we'll take Nintendo, Nintendo entered to NES. They sold a lot of systems. So
Hmm.
it's not like, we're only talking about 10 million, 13 million Wii U systems that's ever been sold.
Yeah.
Because that's when when you sold that many systems, the amount of games published are very low. So within the future, when that comes back around, say another, say 5 years, that system, those prices of those games are going to rise. Well, Nintendo's been around for a long, long time. So all your major games, your Super Mario Brothers, stuff like that, they're not going to be high in value. Those things are going to be so common. But what you look for now is you look for the stuff that's been uh, later in the later years, say 1991, 92, that's been published in those years because it switched over to a Super Nintendo. So those copy of those games have not been not plentiful. They didn't have you know
I
uh,
I get it.
so that's
Kind of
less
like
people bought into them.
there's kind of like how like the most valuable like one of the most valuable like well the most valuable I think Disney VHS is the Cars one
That's because
because
it's
it
a
was the
club.
last one that they ever made,
Yeah.
and it's not in a clamshell
Hmm.
case, which is very odd to begin with also, but um, yeah, so I mean I get it, yeah, because if they didn't make that many of them, and
And that's what it is. And then people try to get the sets, and then sometimes those games are artificially raised in price too. Um, like Little Samson, you're talking about. That's a game near the last year of the life cycle of the NES. I mean, you're talking like 3,000 some odd dollars for that game. You also have like little games that were just kind of like in those last years made by a company called Atlas. Atlas makes, if you see anything made Atlas,
okay,
usually 8 out of 10 times that game is going to have keep its value or it's going to continue to go up. You had um, a cat game.
mm-hmm.
Um, oh, well, it's called Crazy Cat. Um, that was in the last year of the life cycle. That game, like $300-400. But those games have, exploded over time, and they just continue to go up. Those are games that will never go
Yeah.
down. So the end of the life cycle, the publisher, and how many systems have been sold. Like you have PS4 games right now. You have stuff like Godzilla. That's a $200 game on a PS4.
Really,
Mm-hmm. So nowadays, what one thing you look at is when a game has been delisted off of the eShop.
no,
You can't get a digital.
yeah,
The physical copy then becomes worth a whole lot more money
yeah. I mean,
right away.
I was gonna ask like, well, because with the way everything is going, with most consoles going, more digital. They're not actually being physical games. I mean, that's going to be crazy how that impacts.
Hmm.
What if there's games that are released that are only digital, and then they just like decide, you know what, we're going to remove that from the eShop. Like, how do you even? You can
You're
never play that
screwed.
again. You can,
Yeah, you're
you
screwed.
know, you're
That's happened.
and the thing is, people think that because now if I download a game on my system, like my console, my Xbox or whatever, and then I have all these games on there. A lot of people think, oh, I got all these games on there, it increased the value of my system. Like, no, because the next person can't play those games because their
Right.
account isn't. You have to sell your account probably
You
even to
have
get.
to sell your account along with it.
And that's a headache, and that's no.
Yep.
I there's they're basically in okay, they basically make you even if your system goes up. I had to do this. Now I had issues with my couple things. I had with my Xbox one time. I had an issue with my account where for some reason it wasn't letting me play certain games online. Like especially for some reason it was something with my EA account on there, and I don't know why it was like I maybe it got hacked or something at one point, and I just couldn't get on there. Would not let me play any EA games online, and primarily what I like playing was Madden, and so that was no fun. Uh, and so there's anything I did, I called them up. There wasn't really anything they could do, and I ended up just keeping it that way. And then I was for because of that. My next console, well, I got that Xbox went up, and my brother bought me another one. And I just was like, you know what? I can't even play online on EA. I'm gonna just make a whole new account. Well, then I had to. There's games I bought another one, my old one. I had to rebuy.
Yep.
So people are gonna rebuy games. I mean, I had to buy like Grand Theft the new. I mean, the current Grand Theft Auto, like actually 3 times because I had it on Xbox 360 also because it was on Xbox
Yep.
360, right? Yeah. So I had to buy that darn game 3 times.
Yep.
That is ridiculous. I
That
shouldn't
is
have to buy a
ridiculous.
game 3 times.
To recover your on the Xbox, like Xbox 360, I bought hundreds of games. I had so many games.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved over to Xbox One, and then I wound up forgetting my whole password, everything to get
Yeah.
into my account. And it's like, oh well, toodle you lost everything because I can't get into
Yeah.
it. They want to know what the last credit card you used or your last. I don't remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't, and I lost all those games, everything.
That's wild. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think
That's why I got. That's why I'm so mad at Xbox. That's why.
you know what somebody's gonna end up doing, and I think in the long run, this is what's gonna happen. Somebody is gonna end up releasing a console years down the line, and they're just gonna have the same games that the ones, especially the ones that don't have exclusive rights to certain companies. They're just gonna be like, we're gonna upload them to this console, or or maybe come out with actual hard games like
Mhm.
physical copy games that you could buy that are by then, like, can you imagine like 20 years from now, and now they'll be considered vintage or retro, but they'll come out like a physical copy or something
Mhm.
that would be pretty big. Something that's never even been on a physical copy. I think people would go nuts over that.
Yeah, they would. I mean, they would.
Yeah.
I just, I'm all for physical copies. I'm
Hmm.
not for digital. I'm
Yeah.
just, I want to be able to own something. Like,
Well,
you
you
don't
want
really own it.
yeah, you're renting it, and
Yeah, that's basically what you're doing.
I want to be able to get my money back a little bit sometimes. I mean, I know when you take the GameStop, you don't get anything, but
Mm-mm.
like five cents or something, but
Yeah.
for a lot of games. But I mean, it's so bad. It's not even just bad for resellers, but I'm saying as a person who plays video games, the fact that I can't recoup some of those costs or anything, it's frustrating. You would think that they would do it that way so I can reinvest, because okay, if I sell a game, if I buy a physical copy, I have that, then I can sell that game, and what a lot of gamers do, they would take the money that they got from that game and put it towards their next one. How is that possible? You can't, because you can't, so
Mhm.
are they selling the same amount of games they used to because of that? Or are they
I
not?
don't know. See, that's very. I'd like to know. I that would be really curious to
I
see
mean,
what
any
the
business
data on
would
that would
do
be.
that, like in the right mind, because then you're just not selling.
Yeah, you can't say I'm all right. I'm trading this in for
Yeah,
a trade credit to get the newest game.
yeah.
There is no
Hmm.
trading in anything to get the newest game.
Yeah. I mean, it really is the death of GameStop. I mean, it's been a long, slow death, for
Yeah.
them. But and I don't know how they're still hanging in there. I truly don't. But I mean, it's gotten so bad that because aren't they haven't they brought some of the older consoles back, like that they were selling, like, you know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? They sell older games now. Some of them.
Yeah, there's some stores just went to retro.
Yeah,
GameStop retro.
that's how bad. Like they had to change their whole business model.
But I don't see that. I don't see that lasting. I really, I still don't.
You
I
don't?
still don't see that lasting at all. I don't.
maybe not on as big of a scale as they. Not saying that they're necessarily, because there's a lot of stores that have closed, but I can imagine that. I mean, to have maybe every few towns or so, especially where we're at, and like you know, there's with the population, I think that maybe in just really malls are dying, but even so, just if they just had a store every now and then that you would go into and just be your local retro video game store. And I'm not saying, there's plenty of good shops out there that sell video games locally, especially older games, but to do it on a little bit larger scale like that,
Hmm.
they, I think they kind of have an upper hand because they can buy more.
Yeah, they do. But so now to have keep a retro game store in your neighborhood, you have to have the people around you bringing in more retro games. Your prices need to be okay. I mean, they can ship games from
Yeah,
other
that's what I was
places,
gonna say. Did it really have to? I
but
mean,
the prices need to be good because I can go to GameStop and pay more for a game. Okay, it's in person. Some people like that, but I can buy the same game that I just bought from you, maybe $10 cheaper, shipped.
yeah,
It's cheaper to buy game. I mean, you got to
yeah,
understand, it's cheaper to buy games somewhere else than to go to GameStop and buy them.
oh
I
yeah.
mean, I don't want to.
I mean, yeah. I guess to be competitive. And isn't it weird that so in a company like that it would be harder for them to be competitive with other local small business type shops. It would be harder for them to be more competitive. But if it was, say, reversed in the fact that if it was a, like, for instance, like a restaurant, the bigger chains actually can have cheaper costs
Yeah.
than the other, like for instance, like pizza. I honestly, I really would love to support a lot of my small local like sub shops, pizza shops. Um, but I can't beat when Gunnar Henderson or the Orioles win, or Raven. If the Ravens would have won last night, it would have been half off pizza today.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get half off pizza. Even if the base price at like Papa John's or Domino's or whatever is like a couple dollars more than what the base price is at the smaller shop,
Mhm.
and overall it's still 50% off, so it still ends up cheaper than my small local shop. And so just to think that those roles are reversed when it comes to restaurants a lot of times, how, I don't know how. I
That
mean,
is, which is crazy.
yeah.
I guess maybe because they have the clientele coming there more
Hmm.
than a small local place, and
Yeah,
they're capable of pushing out more for less. I mean,
yeah,
could be quite possible, maybe.
yeah. I have
But
no idea. It's, well, I know they get a better deal overall because maybe it's because you're talking about, you're comparing it. I'm comparing it probably wrong because they're buying um stuff that's going to get like in such a larger scale, like
sure.
McDonald's. They like literally pay hardly anything for their soda.
Hmm.
I mean, that's a lot of places. They don't hardly pay anything for their soda unless you're probably, a smaller local. And you're still not paying too much, but it's was surprising because knowing that, actually, I'm getting off track, but McDonald's, I know they don't pay much for their soda, but it's crazy to me that they're basically, they've removed all the soda machines from the inside of
They
the,
did.
yeah, and you have to go up there and ask for a refill, or because they're trying to deter people from asking for a refill. I think,
Yep.
um, which is kind of dumb because
I
if
know.
because you could be done your meal. Like, how many times do you get done eating there, or any like fast food restaurant, and then you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get a refill for the road.
Yep. That's what you do. You get a refill
Yeah,
for the road.
and if you see a long line up there waiting, you are not going to
Mm-mm.
ask for a refill.
No.
And half the time I go up to the register, this is the thing too. There's nobody even there because everybody did online orders or at the
Yeah.
kiosk. And every time I am in there, and if somebody does go up to that register, they're waiting forever for a worker to come over.
Yep. They
So,
want you. They want you to work. They want you to use the kiosk. They want you to not use a human.
well, they should put a refill option on the kiosk,
Yeah, they should. Right. Think
just
about
like
it.
a barcode, and just scan it. And kind of like, okay, Disney. When I went to Disney World, they had a like it's like built into their cup or whatever that you buy, and you get, I think, like free refills as many times as you want, like all day. But it would say it would renew like it. So it had this thing where you couldn't take a regular cup or any other cup under the soda machine and fill it up. It had to be the specific ones that had some kind of coating or something in it that
Mm.
that would it would detect, the soda machine would detect, and if you had it under there, then you could use it. But it would say on a machine like, oh, you have till this date of refills or whatever. So there's a time limit on it. They could do something like that in a way, maybe in the future with drinks. Could you imagine? I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that'd be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be. I don't know what
yeah,
the cost
yeah. That, I
analysis
mean,
would
I'm
be to
probably,
have it.
I'm comparing uh, you being there for one day, one meal,
Yeah,
to being at somewhere for a whole week usually or something like that. But
that changed subject. Hey, yeah, have you ever seen? You've seen the price of tape lately?
not, don't tell me that because I have to buy tape.
Packing tape has been expensive. It has been. It is really.
Dude,
It's the prices went up. But I did find one. I was able to buy what was it, 40 rolls, and I got it for like $34. That
wow,
was really cheap.
wow.
Less than $1 a roll.
Yeah, I think I have like 3 or 4 rolls left, so I'm gonna have to go searching. You might have
Yeah,
to,
the tape prices kind of not too much, but they
yeah,
went up.
yeah. Um, oh, I never even showed this this fine. Hold on, let me get up real quick. So now you know how I was about the stickers I them being from the '80s, and you wouldn't think that anything like that would be worth any
Yeah,
hardly any money, and I've sold some of those for you know anywhere from like 50 to over $100. But I thought these were really cool. Now this one's not really that great, but so balloons, old balloons
oh yeah.
from this one's from 1980. That was, it's got a clown on it. So anybody listening, so I got these old balloons from like the 80s. I think there's a couple from the 60s, but here's Fraggle Rock,
Oh wow.
and that's from 1983. Stuff like that. When I was looking up, some of it, some of these balloons are between $5 to $10 a piece. Some of them are 15, some of them are 20. So I think it just depends. But to me, a balloon that's never even been inflated.
That is like, yeah. Well, you
Uh,
got people collect Garfield Fraggle Rock.
yeah, 1978.
Wow.
There's some bigger ones too. Oh, these are cool.
That balloon looks better to me.
So here's a bigger one.
Snoopy.
Yep. So it's really cool with all the like amusement park look to it and everything.
That's
I mean, the
cool.
graphics on these, like even my wife was like, they'd be even cool just to frame if you
Yeah.
never use them. The graphics on them are really cool. But this one says 1966, I believe.
66?
I believe so. I don't. That's a. I mean, it has some other dates on it, but how just like a book, you go by the newest date
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, you go
That's
by
what
the
I'm going
newest
by.
date.
So I don't know, but I paid. There's probably about 50 balloons in here,
Wow.
and probably between 50 60. But I paid like $10 for this whole bag.
Really?
Yeah, so that was. I never thought I'd be buying. Well, I never thought I would be buying vintage stickers and selling them to begin with, but now I'm just leveling up to something else.
Balloons. Why not?
Balloons.
Dude,
well,
you got to let us know how they sell. Are you going to list
well,
them this week?
all I can hope is that they inflate my sales. Oh, I moved the chair over.
Hey, have you been working on an eBay channel? An eBay
Um,
channel. The
what?
YouTube channel?
No, I have not. I keep wanting to, and I don't know. It's just only so much time in a week. I mean, we talked about if you're still listening, we've been talking about doing like this trivia, and we talked about for maybe 2 or 3 weeks or
Yeah.
something, and we still can't get together and just decide exactly how we're gonna do it. And it's because there's not much time in a week. I mean, we hopefully one day, but I like I said, next podcast we're gonna make it. See, okay, you guys hold us accountable because we're gonna have prizes for viewers and stuff involved, and that hold us accountable because we want to give you guys some stuff. Anybody listening, but we will have the trivia going next week, starting next week.
Yes.
Make it a priority.
Priority.
Yep. Yep. Because we
So we'll have
just
to sit down. We'll have to sit down sometime. This. I don't know why
yeah,
I keep thinking today is Monday, dude.
dude.
It's
The,
Friday.
the week just flies by. I don't know what happens. I blink and especially this week because the holiday weekend
Mm-hmm.
we just had Labor Day, so Monday obviously the post offices were closed, and we usually start our work week on Tuesdays. I mean on Mondays, so we had to start on Tuesday this week, and it was a mess. I mean,
Yeah. That kind of threw me off.
yep,
Like
yeah.
so. Yeah. This when we talk about this week. So maybe we'll meet.
I mean, even if you just want to give me a call or video chat, something like that,
Yeah.
you know, we could do something like I don't, or if you want to go to lunch, we could talk whatever you want to do.
Yeah. We can do that too. And then sit down, bring a pad and paper, and really go over it. Like I was thinking of a couple other things. Like maybe I could pick like 3 like reselling type channels or something that
Mm-hmm.
and that you've never seen, and you could do maybe that to me, and we could watch them and rate them,
Yeah.
or
Um,
stuff like that, kind
yeah.
of like
Yeah.
whatever, I mean,
Yeah. No, I
kind of
mean,
make it more fun.
yeah. I mean, we want to get, um, we want to have anybody views this to be involved, and they're probably not even listening to this point because I don't know how far people make it in. So technically, we're probably just talking to each other about this. We're floating ideas
But that's
out.
okay. That's okay. I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what.
But I mean, obviously, we're not doing this just to talk to each other. I mean, I love hanging out with you every week. But we do want people to watch this
Yeah, we do want people to watch it. That's why I think
and
we should,
engage with us.
you
And
know, do a
yeah,
little bit more of the stuff like the games right from the beginning
yep,
part, because that might, maybe interest them enough to stay around and see what else we
hmm
have to say.
yeah,
So that,
yep, yep. Oh, I had so I had this glitch earlier in the week. I don't know if you had. I didn't post about it. Usually, if I see a glitch on eBay that I came across, I usually post about it to make sure I'm not the only one. So I might be the only one. Um, but it was a notification glitch where it was like for a day or two where I would click my notifications and nothing would come up, and it would say,
hmm,
"Oh, you're all caught up type of deal." And I'm like, no, because I just got a message and I got an offer, or I had a sale. Like nothing was showing up in notifications, and so I was like, well, you know what? It's whatever. Like it kind of sucks that I was still getting my cha-chings and everything, but like on the actual like the notification button, nothing would show up when I
nothing would
clicked.
show up.
So it was kind of a little bit of a pain. But like for instance, if I had an offer, I couldn't click in there to go straight to the offer. I would have to go to the messages, then hit respond to offer.
Hmm.
Um, but somehow that evolved. Like it got fixed, but now it's not fully fixed because I now have another issue where it's another notification glitch. And so I had a few days ago I had somebody make an offer on a vintage T-shirt. I countered, they accepted, and now every day since then I have that offer. Well, I keep getting a notification. It every time like it'll just keep coming up. I can be on the page forever, and it'll just keep popping up like a old pop up on on the computer when you got viruses or something.
Yeah.
But it keeps popping up and saying that they accepted my offer, my counter offer, and then I'm like, okay, that's just kind of weird. I signed out and closed my tabs, everything. I came back, I brought it all back up. It's still doing it, and it's not on my phone. It's just on my laptop. And then today I had I seen an offer for some kind of autograph poster I have, and I counter offered. They accepted, and now that one's also coming up. So I have both notifications. They keep popping up. So on the corner of my screen, it's covering a bunch of stuff. It'll pop up, disappear, and then 20 seconds later, it'll pop up again,
Above it.
disappear.
Yeah, so it catches the corner, the bottom right hand of your screen.
No, the top right hand.
Oh, the top right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm like, what is going on? I mean, I better not have to counter offer anybody else and they accept, because then I'm gonna lose even more space. Can you imagine? It's gonna be constant.
That's
Like,
nuts. Did you get your update on your phone on eBay? I don't know, a few weeks back, where it
uh,
separates buying from selling.
uh I
My, my,
maybe I've seen that they changed it from, instead of what, sold or whatever, and doesn't it say orders?
yeah, it'll say So let me show you. Like, it'll be like, here's what the bottom bar on one of those looks like.
Okay.
So it has buy on the other end, and then you can switch over from buy, and it goes.
No, I have not had that. I don't know.
Yep, and then it switches over, and then on there, there's a research. You could do the research tab on your phone, so you can
Oh,
do all the
yeah,
research
yeah. I've done
from
the
it.
research.
Well,
Yeah.
they had the research, but now it's prominent on the bottom.
Okay.
So you switch back and forth, and
Okay.
sometimes I get lost on where to send my offers at, and I got to hit the back button and just to
Dude,
figure.
the way it is, it's so wonky. Like, they don't, nothing is consistent.
Right.
I feel like, whether it's the app or the site, and because they even, like, with the messaging and all, how they change the messaging a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't like how offers are. Like, if I go to bulk send offers, um, they do they do it by what percentage, but then if you do individual offers, it's
You
dollar amounts, and
right. You got to do a
that
dollar
messes
amount.
people up. I wonder how many sellers have given away stuff, like, or sold stuff for much cheaper than what they wanted to,
Yep.
because the percentages are different than the dollar amounts, and it's not like dollar amount off. It's like what you want to sell for. So if I say I'm going to offer 15% off an item, a $100 item or whatever.
Yeah, it should be $85
No,
on 50% off.
no, but then if I do it individually, I'm saying, oh yeah, I'll sell it to you for $15.
All right. It's like,
Like,
yeah, I'll take it.
yep, yep.
Oh,
It's always something, I feel like, with the app
it is.
update and
It's
all.
convoluted sometimes. It's just.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out. I've been thinking about this because I'm doing that booth, the vintage booth at the car show. I did get somebody to help out. They're going to film, because I usually do the silent auction and help them out. I did get somebody, I think, to fill in that spot, and then I'm going to also have a vintage booth, so it'd be kind of cool. But I'm thinking about still doing maybe an auction or doing some kind of sales there. But I'm thinking about doing a whatnot auction a little bit there, having some items set aside, and with the cars in the background, and doing all
Hmm.
that. I think that'd be kind of unique. I don't know how well the cell service would be out there, but can you imagine doing a one auction and a Ferrari just drives by, or
Oh yeah,
Lamborghini
and
or
I would,
something?
if you're going to do that, I would advertise it ahead of time.
Oh yeah,
Like,
but
yeah.
I think there's so many cool cars, really nice cool cars going to be there. I think it's a great opportunity to kind of just have fun with it, because people don't get confused that I'm not going to auction off a Ferrari or Lamborghini. I wish.
Can you put that? Can you show me that car again?
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
put that up next.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
right away.
yeah. So did you watch any of the Ravens game last night?
I didn't, dude.
Not neither.
I have been so horribly busy. I
Yeah.
have, man, every minute of the day. And last night it was we were in a prayer meeting. I totally forgot I was going to ask you. So the Ravens played Kansas City.
Yeah,
I haven't kept any.
dude.
How much did we lose by?
Don't. Well, they lost by 7. I think it was 27-20. But honestly, I only caught one quarter of the game because dummy me. Last week there was because I noticed there was I've known for a little while. There's a comedian that was coming to town at Magoobies, and I really wanted to go see her. So I bought the tickets, not realizing that it was the same night as the first Ravens game. And so yeah, that show started I think at 7:30. So I ended up missing like the first quarter. I come home, I watch the second quarter, halftime hits, and I just pass out on the couch.
Wow.
I don't remember hardly any of it. Like I'm
I
what I,
was curious to see how Derrick Henry did. I just.
he well after the comedy show, the one guy that was kind of hosting the show comes up and he's like, well, good news is the Ravens are winning. Um, and he's like, should I spoil it and like how it happened or what happened? And people are like, I don't care. There wasn't that many Ravens fans there. It was like me and like one other guy wearing Ravens gear. Most true Ravens fans are not missing the first game of the season. But he's like, yeah, I'll just spoil it for you. Derrick Henry scored his first touchdown. I'm like, okay.
Wow. Yeah,
But
I totally missed it, bro.
yeah.
I forgot all about it. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I
Oh
know.
my.
I was kind of mad, but it's funny. So I follow the comedian. Her name's Kelsey Cook, and she posted on I think it was her stories, her Facebook stories, and she didn't realize that her show was happening during the first Ravens game until like her I guess her flight or something or when she was headed here. And she literally posted on there saying, "I hope there's more than 12 people at my show tonight because I didn't realize about the Ravens game."
How busy was it there?
It was well. I joke with her. I'm like, well, I'm glad it was more than 12 people because it was like, I mean, the whole bottom floor was full, so I think that was enough. There was definitely, maybe I don't know, maybe 40, 50 people at least. So it wasn't too bad. Since I knew ahead of time that she was going to be there, I ordered some cards on eBay, and so surprisingly, she has Topps Allen and Ginter cards, and so I had her.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So I had her sign a few of them, and here's a patch one. I thought that was kind of cool. Yep. Yeah, they're really cool. Topps Allen and Ginter makes that's why I like them because Topps Allen and Ginter, for a lot of people don't know, they don't just specialize completely in the baseball card. Now it's primarily baseball in their packs, but they pop in different like celebrities, comedians, or different just random things. And I like how they put so the cool thing is she's not just a comedian; she's a professional foosball player.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I've seen videos where I think after some of her comedy shows, she's had like people had challenged her to a foosball match or something, and so that's kind of cool. But yeah, she was funny. It was definitely a good show. So
Wow.
yep,
Professional foosball player.
yeah.
I'd never even heard of the lady before you mentioned
Yeah,
her.
now you're going to look her up, Kelsey Cook. So yeah, it was a great show, and it was definitely definitely a fun night out. I mean I missed some of the Ravens game, but it was cool.
Well, you made some memories.
Yeah, yeah. My wife not really. I think I might have shown her a few clips. See, I'm the one that really wanted to go, but my wife she didn't. I think watch too many of her clips or anything. So she kind of went in there kind of blindly, and she even I think this morning she's like, I didn't realize how raunchy it was gonna be.
She was raunchy.
Yeah, yes. But my wife even bought a shirt that was kind of like it had one of the phrases on there, being raunchy. It was uh, you won't get it because I can't tell the joke on here. We might get in trouble. I'll tell you. I might have to tell you after. But she bought it's like on a shirt. It's got like a guy on a jet ski or on the front, and then on the back, um, it says it's not. I think it says it's not water. It's not. It's not just water or something. But it's
Okay.
so you kind of get it a little bit. But yeah, it was good. It was fun. So yeah,
I might have to go to some comedy shows. I've
dude,
never really.
you got to check them out. 'Cause, like Kevin Nealon will be there next week.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Yep.
Kevin, I know Kevin Nealon. I mean,
Yeah. I kind of want to go because I have um a Happy Gilmore like press folder from the
mhm.
movie. I already have it. It's signed by Adam Sandler and it's signed by the guy who played Shooter McGavin. So Kevin Nealon was in that movie too. So
Yeah,
I'm thinking I might, I don't know. And then
Shooter McGavin.
uh Billy Gardell will be there soon too. I want to go to that.
Yeah.
He's from Mike and Molly.
Hmm.
Yep, he'll be there soon. So I think we're planning on going to that. So I don't know. I mean, if you guys are interested, let me know. We
Yeah,
might
I might think.
take.
Yeah, like
Yep.
where's it located at? I mean, it's just
Timonium.
Timony. Oh well, that's not
Yeah,
far.
it's not bad. Nope.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely fun. Um, so I don't think I had this on my list last week, and I didn't cover. I don't think I covered it, but there was a story out there, and I've seen somebody else post it this week, on Instagram also. But there's like a news story basically referring to some people that go to yard sales as vultures. How would you, I mean, feel if you were called a vulture?
Um,
A
I've
yard
been
sale
called the
vulture.
vulture before.
Okay.
I've been called worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes we can be
Well, okay,
buzzards, vultures.
to be fair, so they described it as okay. So everybody knows what an early bird is the person who gets there early, but a vulture is a combination of an early bird and just like I think just wanting to buy like everything and just
Yeah,
even like trying to chew you down. And I mean just literally like they're not going to leave anything for anybody else type of thing. And that's what a yard sale vulture is. And it's like it's I don't know, it's weird because it's like such like kind of frowned upon in the story, in the news story. And I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, if I have a yard sale, if somebody's coming there and buying all this stuff, and I'm going to get rid of it, and I can just maybe even pack up and go back to bed, I wouldn't mind that.
that's it. Yeah, it's gonna be. That's the way it's
Yeah,
gonna be. It's
because
the
I mean,
end of it.
yeah, I mean, you could be out there and have your price set high and not want to sell everything to like one person like that, or majority of your stuff, and then you might have to take it to Goodwill or something tomorrow in the next day and
Mhm.
donate it. And that's time.
My son's calling. Hold
you're
on.
you're popular.
Hello. Yeah. All right. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be down there. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, I heard somebody knocking on my door like do 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 do.
Uh,
That's him. He just got home from school. I said, give me a couple minutes. I
okay.
know we're
Yeah.
coming into a certain time period on this thing
Yeah.
here anyway. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to cut it.
well, we're only allowed to record so long.
Okay. Yeah.
So I know we can go another couple minutes.
Okay. Um. Let's see. All right. So now it being September, um, what kind of stuff should we be listing now that it's September?
I think anything for the fourth quarter. We should be already start listing Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, we need, maybe even mid August.
Yep.
And now September, Halloween, get that out of the way. Start listing Christmas and all fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll be ready to go. I mean, have that stuff loaded and just ready to bang out.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
it can't sell if it's not listed, and you can't like. I'm bad at this because I do this every year. I feel like, but I just procrastinate everything, and I don't get up Halloween till like a week before. Like I don't get the Halloween
I
stuff
know.
because there's just so much stuff you're focusing on, and and I don't know. I'm bad at that, and sometimes so this is a lot of people don't realize this is a very good time of the year overall to list sports stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like because you got football that just started.
Baseball's coming up.
Yeah, baseball's coming to close, but that means any of the playoff teams, that stuff becomes very hot. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
if this team is in the playoffs and you have to sell it quick, list it quick, because if they're in the playoffs, your chances of selling it goes significantly up. Like it's crazy. And then you got basketball starting soon, I think,
Yep.
and then hockey is starting up, and I mean, overall there's just so much sports like is really
Mm-hmm.
big this time of year. It
Yeah, and then not cause it's being the end of the year and by Christmas, people are always looking for Christmas presents. A lot of people start shopping. About
yeah.
we got to build it up. So if the sports fan in your life, you got that baseball bat that from Jeff Conan on the
Oh
Marlins. They're buying
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, as long as the team isn't in last place, your chance of selling it is pretty high.
It's pretty high. That's the way it is. I feel like I'm going to have the greatest fourth quarter ever.
Really.
I'm going to try to have the greatest fourth quarter I've ever had
Yeah.
reselling. So
Yeah.
I'm going to
I
have everything
agree.
loaded up. I'm just, I did 40 listings yesterday. I did like 30 listings today.
Yeah.
I'm just continue to do listings and listings and listings. Just have it load up.
Yeah. I've been doing a little bit here and there. I'm working on some of those graded baseball cards.
Yeah.
I need to sit down and just do them all at once, but I just have so many things going on. But I am getting at least like I think between 5 to 10 items up a day. Um, I sat down pretty good Sunday. Like I said, we went out and I did a little bit at retail arbitrage. But the reason I was out is because my wife had to go into work for a couple hours, um, or she was going to work the whole day. I'm like, no, don't work the whole day. Just go in for a couple hours, like because she needed to handle something there. And I'm like, I'll go with you, like, because we wanted to hang out and do stuff for the day, spend some time together, some quality time. And I was like, I'll just go. I'll find a coffee shop around there and sit in there. So that's what I did. She was at work for a couple hours. I was across the street from her in a coffee shop, and before I went, I took pictures of all these cards, like probably about 20, maybe about 20 to 30 cards or something like that, and I sat there and just listed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Um, some
There's
other,
nothing wrong with that. I mean,
yeah,
just
dude, the
give you
time
something to do.
flew in there, and it was nice. I mean, there was a lot of people in there, but I don't. And usually, if there's a lot of people somewhere and they're talking a lot and stuff, I can't zone it out. But I don't know what it was. I was in the zone.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't have the zone.
Yeah.
Especially drinking caffeine. Thank you,
Yeah. Well, you
Suncast.
can't have caffeine. We
It's
learned that
gonna
last
make me
week. We learned
no,
that.
no more
No,
Suncast. I'm like,
yeah, no more
no
orange
more.
soda. Well, you can find the orange soda that, again, as long as it doesn't have caffeine.
That's
Or
right.
some of those waters like you were drinking, like the bubbly,
Mm.
whatever the heck it is. Some of those, there's a couple, and Walmart has one that tastes just like orange soda. You might have to just settle for that.
Yeah, I'm good with that too. And even regular water, but
Yep.
that's just how it is.
Yep. Orange soda mayhem, or
Yeah, orange soda, man. Yeah, I like the what did I wind up using for the YouTube uh,
I don't.
uh,
Yeah,
episode last week?
I
It was like I
forget.
think I used
I seen it, and I clicked the link, and I was going to share it. So I think after I get off here, that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna
yeah.
share it to Instagram, and I
Well,
did make a post.
we're coming to the end anyway. So
Yep. So
um, I thank you guys for staying this. I don't know if you guys stayed this long and listened to
yeah,
us,
I
but
don't know who does. If you do, you're probably a little crazy.
if you do, leave an orange in the comment. Leave the word orange in the comment.
Orange,
I stay caffeinated. I don't.
orange, orange. You glad
Oh,
we? Look, aren't you glad you lasted this long in the
that's
podcast?
right. Aren't you glad? Leave an orange and say, "Send me $1," because I will send you $1 for staying this long.
Good luck.
I'll message you and I will send you $1.
Next week, I'm gonna hear that you had to remortgage your house or
There's
something.
gonna be like
You're broke.
13,000 people. Like what? You said you were gonna do that.
Yeah, yep. That now you're just buying
Well,
it
here, while supplies last. Dollars while supplies last.
first. Yeah. What? You got $2 in your wallet, and that's as far
Yeah,
as it
that's
goes.
while supplies last.
Yeah.
That's it.
But, all right. All right. Well, I thank everybody that's lasted this long and put up with us for a
Yep.
little over an hour and a half.
Yep.
So
Thank you.
yep. We'll
And
see you
until
guys.
next time. Bye.